out for a while.
Oh, like my course?
The rest of my to get my associate's, bachelor's, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
What was your in your professional training? Did you have the ability to like get paid and just do some comfy things and go freelancing in this market?
I think so. I was lucky, I think, to find the job I found. Just graduating, and then I just had one published game on iOS. That looked good on my portfolio. But I think doing some freelance. That's what I'm trying to do on the side is like freelance work. I just started my own LLC.
Yeah. And how much was that?
100. I think it was like 300 with like fees and stuff. Yeah. Right. I think it's worth it. What are you going for? Computer science? Are you doing? Are you here?
No, I recently left. I was in their AR/VR
Gotcha.
programming, but they didn't offer any hardware. That was AI, but I was more into wearable technology.
Right.
Learning solder and weld is the next thing. I learned how to actually wire up into things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It was just like VR, AR stuff.
They were cutting that one in like next year anyway. So
Right. Dang. Yeah.
I just
Yeah. Probably better try to go somewhere else.
that's what I'm saying. It would be trying to be better to not pursue that in this market. Go in one of my other many various directions.
Right.
The game design is still a hobby, obviously. I love this stuff. I would like to jump in it.
Right.
But they just closed our game.
Yeah, they did.
I was helped about that.
Yeah. Right. There's a lot of studios that just closed from Microsoft. Yeah. Crazy. Right, but it seems like indie is the way to go right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of the move. It seems like.
But yeah,
That's neat.
that's just one of the other ways you can do it. Not just Kickstarter and Indiegogo,
Right.
Patreon, YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to welcome everyone. Thank you for coming here today to the May Tulsa Unity Video Game Developer Meeting. We're here because Professor Akram allows this area to be used once a month for it. This is also the same area in which we would do our annual graded game jam.
Yeah.
Yes, if you guys are interested in that, this is the room that we started in every year. It's a really fun event. We have like 2.5 days kind of to make a game with a group of people. And it's a very good learning experience. There's lots of different engines, including Godot and Unity and Unreal and stuff like that. Some people switch engines just for the fun of it, learn it in 2 days. And there's lots of people that jump around too, like audio and artwork and stuff. My name is Chesney. You can call me Archstone or whatever, I guess.
Hello.
Look over the group from Professor Akram. We're in close conjunction with the Tulsa game developers and Techlahoma. I've been using Unity since 2018. I've published 3 games, and I'm trying to start up a small studio here in Tulsa and get that ball rolling. We're working on a few small projects now. Robin, you can go next.
My name is Robin. As my day job, I'm a medical assistant, and I started doing 2D art to combat burnout. Just started.
Nice. All right.
Well, I've said it about 3 times.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
You don't have to if you
it's
want.
fine. I recently left the house. XR and wearable engineer. Learning Raspberry Pi myself, and been in Unity for about 4 months, Godot for about 2 days, 2 or 3 days. And I have some Unreal assets I'd like to unwrap as well. So if you need some books, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm Chandler. I started with Unity back in 2017 with some small games I made on my own, as well as for some college projects. And now I'm getting back into the swing of it. Switched to Godot a few months ago, and I'm loving it so far.
I'm Morgan Houston. I probably was introduced to Unity in 2018 as well. I've published a couple projects, I think 3 or 4. Yeah. I've been thinking about going to Godot. How do you like it?
I'm loving it so far. The whole
Interface is very good.
Yeah, I'm really liking the whole node hierarchy thing we have going on because namely I'm working on a behavior tree AI system for the game I'm making, Wendigo Hunt, and I feel like it would be well suited to that. And also, one of my favorite features of Godot is signals, really. So that you can like node to another that says, hey, I want you to execute this function whenever this signal gets called.
So easy.
Yeah. Which is so much easier than hooking things up in C# scripts in Unity.
Yeah. I mean, GScript is would you say, a lot like Python?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't you use C# in Godot as well?
Yeah.
I think pretty much use it.
Yeah, C# got added to Godot quite recently, actually.
Oh, yeah, the Unity, the debacle thing was going on.
Let me just scoop up some news real quick.
Right, yeah.
I think it had it for a little bit, at least a little bit before that time.
They're like perfect timing.
Yeah.
I did see lots of advertisements for Godot around this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they posted like their own runtime fee sheet and it was like free.
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, that might have been when that Humble Bundle
Right.
I got. It was 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah. It seems like their runtime fee is going to be fine though now after they flash everything out.
I couldn't see the chat. Right.
Overall, I feel more comfortable just sticking with Godot for the future.
Yes, sir.
I think it's good to know multiple engines because it's always going to change.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What language are you coding in?
GD script.
Oh, okay.
I have one plugin based on C# right now that I'm running. What was it called again? TerraBrush. I'm using it for terrain generation.
Well, you said that you have ready to pull up.
It's very bare bones,
That's fine.
but I can show you what I have right now
Yeah, we're on the
and describe a couple things that aren't really shown on the screen but are happening behind the scenes.
All right.
Does everyone have a good view? Yeah. So I have a hunger and stamina system going where it steadily decreases. I have an inventory system. I'm using GLOO for that, and each item, or most items, have a function to them. So just ate a ration that brought my hunger back up to 100, and got a couple weapons working as well. A knife and a gun. They don't really do anything, but right now they do function because they send a message to the console that tells me that, hey, I hit something, and is it damageable? Yes. Why am I not moving? I don't know why that happens.
Kind of looking like that old Slender game right now.
Right.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
good spot to be in if you developed here a few months ago.
Yeah, I'm aiming to give it a sort of PS1 aesthetic, owing mostly to Squirrel Stapler. Yeah, in fact, Squirrel Stapler and that old Rake game based on the Rake from a couple years ago. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. I played it. I didn't get very far in it.
What's Squirrel Stapler? Is it a game?
It sounds like Squirrel with a gun.
It sounds like a library. Yeah, I've heard Squirrel with a gun.
Right.
That's funny.
Oh boy, where do I start? So yeah, right about now there will be messages in the console saying, "Hey, I'm hitting this tree." If I go over to this big guy over here that I downloaded a stock model for, give him a little poke, it should be telling me that I'm damaging him right about now. I'm not really doing any actual damage, but it's telling me that I would be.
Right.
And also, gun does damage at range, pretty decent range, and has recoil every time I fire it.
So are you planning on making more than one Wendigo, or
Just one in
so
the
you
game.
can stun it or something with the guns and weapons, or
Mm,
what's your objective with them?
and the ultimate purpose is to kill the Wendigo. I'm thinking doing damage and especially headshots would have a chance of stunning it, giving you a chance to I don't know, run away or hide, or if it's attacking you, it gives you a couple precious few seconds to do whatever. But ultimately, it's going to be a monster that is by many means much stronger than you. So the idea is that you'd have to outlast it and aim true, get some good shots off so that you damage it enough for it to run away, and most importantly, have some traps set up. I'm looking to add a bear trap and yeah, trail cams as well. Trail cams, that's a big thing I want in the game, so that you have some more eyes,
Right. I like that.
have some more eyes across the forest.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely required in those type of games. Almost expected.
What kind of technology is and more robots that go explode?
I'm not really planning drones. I'm planning.
Like C4 robots?
I'm not really looking at that kind of technology, buddy.
So things you can do in your own backyard.
Yeah, like basic hunting equipment is what I'm thinking. Thinking you would have at your disposal. Also, there's a reload key. For the rifle, it reloads one round every time you press it.
Okay. So speaking about health and stuff, how many shots do you think it's going to take to kill that Wendigo? You thinking? And that's probably a late game feature to balance that out. But obviously, you can't shoot it 3 times and the game's over, can you?
Yeah, no, it's gonna take a lot of punishment, and I'm thinking that the only way to kill it is to do enough damage that it falls down onto the ground, incapacitated, and then to kill it, you would have to take a melee weapon to it.
So like a final boss, like at the end of the game.
Uh, yes, except that this guy is active in the forest at all times throughout the game, and you're steadily having to whittle them down through the many encounters that you would most likely have with them.
So then how long of a play session do you think it's going to go for? Is it like a 10-minute run thing or a 4-hour indie game?
Probably at least 1 or 2 hours. I'm looking at
Right, like a save your
for
spot.
play session. There's most definitely going to be a saving system if the game's going to be running for that long.
Right.
There's definitely going to be a day-night cycle, so there is a heavy emphasis on survival elements. So there's wildlife you can track to get yourself some food to cook and eat, keep your hunger up. Day-night cycle should also, yeah, varying levels of light and darkness. And I'm also thinking if I can do it, I want the game to transition into winter a few days into a new game as a sort of difficulty spike.
And so would the Wendigo be more active at night?
Yes, absolutely. But
Would you ever have a brief period of respite?
I suppose you could in theory encounter the Wendigo during the day, but it's more likely to actively seek you out during the night.
Okay.
Because the Wendigo NPC is going to be active at all times after it spawns, day, night, whatever, and going to be wandering about doing its own thing until it detects you and decides what to do with you based on a couple of factors: its health, whether it can get the surprise jump on you. In general, if it feels like it has a good chance of killing you right then and there.
Okay.
Are there gonna be crafting,
Crafting.
or would you just like? How would you like make a fire? I guess. Or do you need to make a fire? If it's gonna be cold.
I mean,
You can do real life crafting.
yeah, crafting system would make sense. I haven't really thought about it that much.
I think crafting would be cool in that type of game.
Yeah.
Especially like
You're gonna
craft like
need
the traps, the cameras, things like that.
You're gonna
Yeah,
either need
all right,
crafting or
crafting.
looting or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crafting system it is, and there's going to be a good amount of looting because I want to put some landmarks around the map, like abandoned structures, houses, natural landmarks as well, like
Yeah, speaking about that, what's the setting? Is it post-apocalyptic? You're saying abandoned buildings and such. Is this when to go kill everyone?
I don't know.
Right, you're the last.
It's a normal modern day. Just you're in the middle of nowhere.
Like a ghost town.
Imagine you're from the place that people believe in Wendigos, and that's it.
Okay.
You're in Oregon in the
It's
middle of
right
the
there.
woods.
Yeah.
And so are you trying to like make it more like the abandoned houses or like the structures or like safe spots?
Definitely not safe in the strictest sense of the word, but I suppose you can use them for shelter.
It would be cool, like Wendigos attack a lot of people in small towns with it, and so it's already overrunning the last.
You know, that's the idea I have. Well, you know, that's the idea I have for the abandoned buildings I'm talking about. I'm thinking like probably like a factory or wood mill somewhere around here where you'd see where you'd see the signs of its work. Yes, it's carnage in the past, and your character was drawn here specifically because of a string of gruesome murders, cannibal murders here occurring here around just before you decide to come here and take care of it.
Yeah, the string bodies give you a lot of opportunity to have some fun in the storytelling.
Yeah.
A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, it would be really great if you left some notes of some people and talking about its behavior that can kind of give some players hints about, oh, what type of AI is it? You know,
Yeah, that's
like,
the
oh,
plan.
every time I turn around and I see it, it hides or something like that. You know.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for a sort of advanced, intelligent AI, like alien isolation. Yeah. So I want this thing to be a smart thinking monster that weighs its options carefully and is hunting you with just as much intelligence as you hunt it.
Nice. Yeah, my next major game will have lots of AI on it, so I'll probably have to collaborate with you to see what you've discovered so far.
Yeah.
That'll take place in like October later, but
What games have you published? And what platforms did you publish on?
yeah, so all of which so far have been on PC, but I'm working on 2 mobile games right now.
Nice.
But one was unpublished. I'm gonna republish, but that one doesn't count towards my 3. First one was a VR game where you're like in this office building, and it's kind of like suddenly there's I don't know. I don't work on a wheel thing too much. It literally like has a whiteboard that says instructions like find an elevator key, blah blah blah, find your soul. So it's like what the fuck's going on here?
Right.
It has
And
like,
there's like monsters and stuff, and they all you have is like the supplies you find around the office, which usually is like flashlights and stuff like
It
that.
kind of reminds me of an old horror game from like that did take place in an office. I think Markiplier played it, right? It rings a bell. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of something like that.
The monsters interact different ways, different stimuli from sound to light, etc., and stuff like that. Some of them just freeze up in the light. Some of them aggro on you if you flash a light on it or move around, and some of them are repelled by it. Some of them act differently if you look at them, and lots of other effects and stuff like that too. There's like 3 different stages. Not a whole super long game, but it was my first one, and I wanted to make it super immersive, and that's kind of where it fell flat. Besides the fact that I didn't know it didn't work with the Vive until after I tried to release it on Steam. so I released it on Steam, requiring you to have an Oculus to play it. So it's kind of flopped on that part too.
Have you tried was it Apple Lab or the Quest store on with Quest?
I tried publishing it through to Quest, but then they took months to get back to me. By the time I was already
Moving on.
right. But I do plan to go back and do a big update on it someday. And then I made a free-to-play strategy game, top-down grid system and stuff like that. And there's like factions that you can choose from between like mercenaries, angels, and the undead. And they all have different ways of generating resources so you can spawn stuff and stuff like that. I thought it was a pretty good game, but I maybe made the leveling up system a little bit too restrictive. And I had bigger dreams for it, but
That
realizing
sounds familiar. Was that like a strategy game?
yeah, it was a strategy game. It was called Clay Soldiers.
Yeah, Clay Soldiers. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was at a. You showed that at a game dev meeting
A long time ago.
long time ago.
Yeah, it was over a year ago. So yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah, I had to stop working on it because I timed myself out. I'm like, I know I'm not gonna make money with this, so
Right, if it's free. Yeah.
I was like, if somebody makes it to like level 20, it's like, hey, you want to unlock these more units, buy this pack type stuff. But
You have a good idea that you believe in, and you spend like 10, 20 hours a week, even as a passion project or a side project. After a couple of years, you gotta have something.
Yeah.
Maybe you can show it to somebody and get it like published out the regular way.
Right, or at least gives you experience.
It gives you experience, but like if you listen to Thor like Jesus, then he's just the most freaking thing.
I mean, his name is literally Thor.
And my last game was like a business simulator game, Urban Entrepreneur.
Urban Entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and bought that
Oh, thanks.
the day you showed that off.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I feel like that one's my most polished game I've made yet. I wanted to make sure that every update that I pushed out for people to play it was polished, and that was a great experience for me because at the end it didn't feel like I had a list of a million bajillion bugs. I still had a lot, of course, with every game, but I worked some out throughout the process because every version I released, I wanted it to be well done. And
Isn't that the 90-90 rule anyway?
yeah, you're
Oh yeah. The first 90% of a video game is the first 90% of videos of the list. The
Oh.
last 10% is another 90%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it still felt like that. I still had a month worth of just bugs. But yeah, it was a great game. It had 10 levels, lots of different unique stuff with each level, and it built the player up so I didn't shove anything on them at once. I presented at several conferences. I was the last winner of CSGC before they shut down, unfortunately.
Did they shut that down because of
Just not enough people, not enough random people
Yeah.
joined in. Apparently, it only had like, from what Daniel, I think he said, like 15 to 20 people, strangers, that joined the event that aren't from OTU.
And,
So
and Professor Abram wanted it to be like a speaking thing, right?
kind of, I mean, there's theories about that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, they had a sign-up sheet. They didn't have enough random people join in, so they didn't see the continue.
and that's heartbreaking. I love CSGC.
CSPC was great. I unfortunately was only able to attend one. I didn't know Tulsa Game Devs existed until like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. First CSGC I went to was 2018 when it was still called Heartland. I showed off a game concept I was working on for I've been thinking about for about almost nearly 10 years now, called Ichiketsu. It's sort of this survival horror top-down RPG maker looking game, but it more has the gameplay of Resident Evil.
I think you need my focus juice. Caffeine is ADHD medication.
Yeah, it's submitted it to Game Art and won third place.
That might be you.
That's me. Well, it's like we went to LA. Yeah. working on a couple more games now, and we're gonna work on a decent sized project. It's gonna be another horror game. It's gonna integrate lots of AI. I'm going to try to focus on making a game that's easily streamable and easily marketable.
Yeah.
Because through my experience, I realize that's the greatest hurdle that everyone faces here
Mhm.
as a developer is getting the game out in front of people to look at.
Absolutely.
Unless you have thousands of dollars worth of advertising and PewDiePie on speed dial,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, your game has a decent chance of not going very high. So I want to make something that's really streamable and really playable. So the main thing I'm going to work on before October to catch a lot of people's eyes, I want you to be able to talk to a ghost with a microphone.
Oh, really?
Full conversation too, using ChatGPT type stuff. I've seen instances of all of these together, or not all of these separately. I just need to put them together. But I do
Okay.
believe that's the future of gaming itself.
Have you seen that You Suck? Your You Suck game? I don't know the exact title, but you're like a vampire and you're trying to get into people's houses, and you go up to the house with a different costume on, and it's chat AI. You can talk to them with a mic, say what you want to say to try to get in, and they'll say something back.
I know what
Okay,
game
so
you're
yeah,
talking
the
about.
systems are already in place.
Yeah,
I know what game you're
it sounds
talking
cool,
about. Donkey Bird played it a while ago.
I think it's like You Suck or something like that. Right, it's pretty neat concept.
Yeah. So therefore, to see, that's what I want my game to be. I want it to be like, oh, that game's like Ghost Game. That's the project name right now.
Right.
You said ChatGPT. Do you want the game to be playable offline?
Yeah, it will need to. It will probably need to be integrated in. If it has to be online, then okay.
Yeah.
I do plan to make it 4 player anyway, and it's going to be a very difficult game, and stuff really needs to go your way. You really need to know what you're doing to beat it.
Okay, so that's going to be a big hurdle because you have to manage to fit the language model you want to use into the game, and that's probably going to put a lot of bloat into the game.
Yeah, 25 gigs right there.
Yeah.
You can
You
already
could.
download types of GPTs and put them in your game.
I wouldn't necessarily say 25 gigs.
I think that was what I saw a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah, well, let me tell you. Yeah, I was about to say because new state of the art models like a Phi 3 from Microsoft is something like 2.3 gigs.
Oh, nobody would even notice that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's Facebook's Llama 3, which is 4.7.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then the next hurdle would be the power needed to run those models at a good speed.
Yeah, so they're not like buffering or whatever. I saw that guy integrate ChatGPT type stuff into Skyrim. It's really cool. They have entire backstories written out, and you can ask them, your set of questions.
Skyrim mod ChatGPT. What?
Yeah, I saw it before. It's actually really crazy. Yeah. The only problem with it is that they have to be like, okay, I'm thinking, and then they have to wait there for a second for it.
Yeah.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah, I know it all exists. I just have to put it together. But I do think that's the future of gaming. I don't see it going any other way here within 5 years. Like the next fucking Elder Scrolls comes out, that's gonna be every single NPC. You can interact with them.
That's a big statement to be making.
No, it's just the future. I think I saw that a couple years ago. It was kind of when ChatGPT 3.5 first came out, and the reason it was having to think so long is because they had to send those requests off to the internet and then back. It was nice. They're still using their API, but we have Llama now and Jetsons.
Yeah. Also, Suck Up. That's what the game is called.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
Right. It's pretty neat.
What's it made by? Is it made in Unity or Unreal?
It
let's
kind of
see.
looks like Unity.
Yeah, you would know if it was an Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kinda
So
looks like
the
it would be in Unity.
yeah, so
I'm
the
not
idea
sure.
you have, being able to talk to ghosts on the microphone and have a language model respond, this is probably a good game to
You could
research.
replicate that.
Well, and also don't forget that, I mean, Apple's making their M4 and 5 chips with AI built on the chip, and
Yeah, the advancements are getting pretty exponential
Windows
nowadays.
also doubled down on ARM specifically for Copilot integration.
Yeah,
Like
but
the new Windows 11 update has
Yeah.
a lot of it.
Apple doesn't really have any like their PCs suck for gaming, and their
Yeah.
their Oculus
one
can
plays
only
Mac.
watch TV. So
Really?
mhm.
Their VR headset can only watch TV.
It's
Basically.
just a phone on your head. You can't run any games on it.
Did you just buy it?
No. I'm thanking God I didn't buy it because I really wasn't interested in it beyond seeing it in marketing. I have like a Quest 2. That's good enough for me.
And they've already they've made a app for the Quest 3 that is the Vision Pro OS.
Yeah, I want a Quest 3. In my classroom, we got all these Quest 2s, and I'm trying to get the school to order some Quest 3s so I can mess around with them because they look pretty neat. Because the color pass through.
I have a 2, and I want them for the pancake lenses especially, but I also think I'm just gonna make my own at some point soon.
Yeah,
And also,
right.
because I have a viewfind, which is like a 4-inch screen that you put in here, and then they have $200 AR glasses that are real bad. So at that point, I just make my own.
Right.
I take the old I got this gas mask. Doesn't really work anymore as a gas mask, so I just put some watch lenses in there.
See what you can do.
Oh yeah,
That'd be neat. Yeah.
so they did it back in 2013.
Yeah, I read this book about Lucky Palmer Lucky when he was making the Quest. I don't remember the name of it, but
I remember
and
this
John
Kickstarter
Carmichael
days.
in it.
I watched the whole fucking thing.
Nice.
The Meta buyout, well, the
Yeah.
Facebook buyout,
Yeah.
the pretentious name change.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
NASA
all
promising us
after
to be in the moon by Mars by now.
You remember that one photo Mark posted of his model in the metaverse?
Yeah.
And then made it flop so hard.
Yeah. Right after that came out, yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, I don't know about this anymore."
Yeah.
That was a marketing blunder.
A marketing blunder.
There's been some good ones throughout the years.
Speaking of this, speaking of all this VR, I should get back into playing Half-Life 2 VR. I picked that up, got about to middle of Root Canal, or no, I got to start of Water Hazard. I should continue that.
I've only done Portal 2 VR because Portal 2 is one of my favorite video games ever.
That sounds cool.
It was good. Yeah, I'm about halfway through that, and I get bored with everything.
Oh gosh, how does it look when you like put a portal below you, portal above you, and you're just falling?
It's fine.
Right? Yeah, that sounds crazy in VR.
I don't get motion sickness, and
Nice.
I'm jealous.
Would you
I
recommend
don't
not
get-
doing it if you have motion sickness?
I would imagine so.
I don't get motion sickness from VR, but Portal is probably what would give it to me.
Right.
It's not the same.
One.
Yeah, it's not the same. I mean, this PlayStation VR was really good about putting on the automatic blinders. It reduced your field of vision quite some level. And I got rid of the VR 1, I had a VR 2, but still, it did that. It looked like a PS3 level game at all times, but maybe a PS2, PS3 level game, and then it did that. But it was still good for the money in the days.
Did you try any of the Resident Evil VR games?
I like to smoke weed when I play video games.
That would be a fun time. I bought that one, and it's terrifying when they're coming at you, and you're trying to like grab your shotgun off your back, and it's so hard. It's
I like
so
Robo
freaking
Recall
hard.
instead of that bullshit.
It is. So hard. I think I got to like the first city, and I'm just overrun, and I haven't played it since because it's so hard in VR. You gotta like literally reload, cock the gun, everything.
I need to play Population Zero.
Right? Is that like the battle royale type?
Yes.
Yeah.
Climbing and real sniping. Oh my lord.
Yeah, if you guys ever develop a VR game in the future, a good asset to buy for Unity was auto hands. Whenever I developed mine, that's the thing I use for my hands. You can move your hands around. It automatically integrated climbing and lots of other stuff.
So you didn't use
Grabbing
controllers,
items.
so you could just use your hands.
No, last time I still use a controller. but
Gotcha.
I'm sure it's developed a lot since 2019 or
Yeah.
2020.
Alright.
But you can grab any item from anywhere. Because normally you have to snap it. to
Yeah,
a
attach
certain
point,
image,
attach
stuff
transform.
like that. But
Yeah.
that one you could literally just do this with a ball and move it around.
Nice.
It's so immersive. It's so good.
Yeah.
We'll get into it on the go. They have trying to pick up from a distance is in that too.
XR hand tracking toolkit.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Woo.
You're gonna make your game VR?
I'm
I'm
not really. I don't think I'm that skilled yet. It's probably a stretch goal.
One thing you should all do though is just figure out image tracking on the AR stuff. And if anyone said they had the capability of all of VR headsets with camera, then I mean you can even use it. That's the point. If you just get image tracking working, you can have your business card display your portfolio and your prices and shit in AR on Google Daydream.
Okay.
That'd be really neat.
That was the project I was working on when we left, and I was like, this is
Google Daydream. What's that?
It's their AR thing. There's also a business card and shit, but Google Daydream it's by Google, so it will probably be the easiest thing to get people to download and install because you might have to make your own app. I don't have it.
Well, it was discontinued in 2019, so I don't.
Oh, it's AR Core now. It's AR Core.
Okay. AR Core.
You just got out of it. Not to do something that's expired. Like, rotting on the ground.
They one of the things that pissed me off is that they didn't give me the 2024 course access to it. They gave me access to all the other 2021 courses. Because that's when around I signed up in was about 2023. Yeah,
That sucks.
pissed me off.
Yeah, I think they would update that kind of stuff.
Well, when I talked to my instructor, he had this to say. It's number one, whereas it was 90% activities and 10% bullshit, it's now 30% bullshit and 20% activities. And there's nothing. And number two, there's nothing in that you can't get online. So, and he is telling me, just do your own thing, bro. I see you. They don't have to have the shit you want. It's fine. Go. Serious about the catching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's focus juice. You know, it's literally what they give to people in the military. Disrespectful.
Yeah.
The army, at least.
That's why they get addicted on it.
So is
Culture.
I did have a question a while back, but I think I kind of figured it out. It was like, what's the best way to unload and load scenes in Unity? Because I had an issue on Universal Windows platform, just terrible with loading scenes, and which is like Xbox, the crappy old Xbox system I guess they use. If you don't have ID at Xbox program approved, you have to use UWP. And they would took forever to load these scenes, and sometimes it would just crash. But on Steam, it would run fine. On mobile, it would run fine. So I had to like completely unload the scene, like remove the assets, like resources to unload assets or something, and then load the next scene in this loading scene. It was a weird process I had to do.
Oh wow.
But I got it to work where it's not crashing all the time now.
I thought UWP was Microsoft's on their app store. That's the Windows Phone app store.
I think you can publish for PC, Windows, phones, Xbox, all with that UWP.
The Xbox app store and the Microsoft app store, they're all on bullshit. Actually, the 65 system.
Right. I think on the UWP I had to use x64. I don't think it'll let you use ARM on there. Right, I think that there's some options to select there, but the video I went through said to uncheck those other options. So I'm like, okay, bet. Uncheck those and then move on. I published, I got one game out there on one, it's not finished yet. I'm trying to finish it in the summer. It's called ZomCube, but I made it for school. It's like a cross-platform, wave-based survival game, like Call of Duty Zombies, basically. It's on Xbox. I'm about to put it on Steam, and it's on iOS and Android. And I have another one I'm working on called Imprecision that's in early access, and it's on UWP right now. But I'm trying to get it approved for the ID at Xbox program so I can actually not do UWP. Because I think I have another option when you actually get approved for that.
Are you able to send those links in the?
Yeah, I can send them. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So to be clear, my information is all over the place. Some of it's from 2019, some of it's from 2013, some of it's from this last 2 years.
Mhm.
So the daydream thing.
Right. Right.
Listen, Google kills services off like PETA kills off dogs.
And the ARM thing is probably only when it was not on Xbox. So
Right.
but I am excited for Windows doubling down on ARM because it's that architecture is kind of like a CPU and a GPU already together. That's why they're on smartphones and APUs and shit. So when you can have those lot of small cores that are doing the same thing at the same time, that's how you get AI. And that and a whole bunch of RAM for parameters.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me just put this in like a general.
General, sure.
Yeah, you can use General or you can use the Unity chat. That works as well. Or you can, there might be some other stuff you can put there too.
Yeah, it's like development.
Saw this dev kit today. It's just a mini PC, but it has Snapdragon's newest top.
You can put it in Showcase as well if you want to.
$100. Or,
Snapdragon.
yeah, Snapdragon. $90.
But yeah, you can put it in the
Mhm.
help desk Unity or.
Snapdragon.
Yes, I've heard of that. That Snapdragon.
Oh, you put it in the Unity.
Yeah, Unity chat development is what I put it into.
I see. You're the MMSI6.
Yeah,
M6. Cool. It's your Steam link. Awesome. Be able to check that out when I get home.
Sun's really showing dust, huh?
Yeah.
What? Oh, like glassing little kind of
Like the little white.
microfilm.
Not on me.
Microfiber things.
Not on me right now. No.
I would have brought my Steam Deck if I didn't just fix it this last like 2 or 3 hours ago.
I have my Steam Deck. I carry it with me all the time.
It's the most powerful thing I have. So I don't know how where at least I was getting through school just fine, doing all the things. So
That's neat.
yeah, it's really powerful. Like,
Yes,
You
Steam
put
Deck
Windows
is
on it?
absolutely one of the best things I ever got.
I have the OLED, which doesn't have the Windows drive.
Hmm.
So the other HPCs as well. But I also like Linux. I've been using it since high school.
Fair enough.
Off and on it's Windows. I mean, to be clear, I did take like 5 years off my career because Google fired me and I got despondent and just started partying for a while before let crisis be real. And then made a couple more friends and people that cared about me. So just need to focus on real life again. And went to school and made a promise to myself I'm going to do what I want and make a lot of money doing it. So here I am. I used to be a security officer and a wrench jockey there. Operations contractor.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, the data center.
That's sick.
Up in Pryor, right?
Yeah, it's just replacing RAM sticks and CPUs and shit. And they did, to be clear, they did actually put me on the fiber rerunning. And they said, hey, don't fit this shit more than this much. Because it was little
lines of yellow fiber cables.
Yeah, I worked in IT before I got my current job, and I had to splice fiber one time.
Oh,
And,
man.
oh my God, it took forever, and I broke it so many times. And I finally got it. It was to connect a camera, and I got the camera up.
I did 6 months there, and then I got like the renewal, and then I got something in like splicing and heard that, and then you're not, your services don't require anymore. I'm like, fuck it, it's Oklahoma weekend never, boys, let's go.
Dang.
My current job is my first IT job, database application developer. I'm at a window company, and I essentially work on the program that the estimators and project managers use to construct price quotes for someone who wants to order doors and windows.
That's neat.
Yeah.
A lot of table joins and stuff like that, or like making tables.
I don't really work with the database directly. I work in the application itself.
Okay.
Because, yeah. So I work on writing scripts, macros, creating resources for the windows that are the actual parts of it.
Mm-hmm. That's neat.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing I learned as a security guard was that you can get a private eye license for not a week of school. I'm not in school. Not that hard. I thought it would be harder than that. But
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's see, we're slowly running out of things to talk about here. We can end the meeting early if you guys want. Or we can try to find something. I can bring something up on YouTube or something.
What about the game you're working on?
Yeah, the game Robin and I and a few others are currently working on. It's a 2D Line Wars like game.
Line Wars?
Kind of. Yeah, that's the term I use for it. Has anyone ever played StarCraft before?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not like StarCraft, but it's
They're
like
kind of
game
their own
modes.
kind of-
They have a mini game and it's kind of like Line Wars.
Okay, so tug of war type game. So
Okay.
you might have played mobile phone games, or if you played flash games in the past, Age of War. Does that ring any bells? Where you spawn units and they go and they fight each other and they go back and forth and stuff like that.
Yes. That game was great.
I think StarCraft's game modes have perfected that in a way in which no other games had.
Have you played Fat Princess? 'Cause it sounds a lot like that. If you're talking about just like waging, like capturing points and then going over the. I guess it's kind of more like a MOBA, but again, you control the tiny little characters instead of like sending waves and managing resources. Is that what you're talking about?
No, sorry.
Because I played Age of War, and that's what you mean by line tug of war type thing.
Yeah, you spawn units and they'll go and they'll try to fight across this line or whatever. But StarCraft had very very good game modes of these tug of war type games. And I wanted to kind of introduce some of that into the mobile, since I saw that mobile games are just utterly underwhelming.
It's definitely lacking in that area. It seems to be that could be done. Good StarCraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I played like a game called like We Are Warriors, and then before everyone started making copies of that game, and I'm like, wow, this game kind of sucks, but it's it's kind of addicting at the same time. I can't play it more than a week before I'm like, okay, yeah, there's nothing to do in this. But I wanted to bring that into the complexity that you were able to achieve in the StarCraft into like a mobile game. So yeah, I decided to go with a 3-line tug of war instead of one. The lanes can merge and split off and stuff like that, so it adds some complexity. And you can spawn units. You won't actually be spawning units, you'll be spawning buildings, and these buildings will periodically spawn units. You can upgrade those buildings, you can add more buildings, so they'll add different units. I can pull up a version of that. I'm sorry, if you haven't played StarCraft, forget I've said it. Just forget I've said it.
One, I can like see it. Explain it that way.
Well, it's more of the game modes I'm trying to relate to. Just forget I said it. Here, I can pull it up.
Are you guys on LinkedIn?
I am.
I'm gonna put my LinkedIn and stuff in the general chat. he
Okay.
wants to connect with me on there.
Yeah, I can connect with you.
LinkedIn, but it only has medical stuff.
I don't have too many projects on there yet. I'm cleaning up my repositories and
Mhm.
finishing things out and then posting them.
Nice.
All right, so this is version 0.1.
Yes, sir.
Like, maybe like beginning of this month?
No, we had some time in last month. So you get it's a mobile game, so you get like XP and you can put that into stuff. So you're stronger next time around. There's gonna be a research tree. Right now we just have these basics.
We might have buttons and stuff.
Oh yeah, it is version 0.1. I wanted to make a playable version so that everyone kind of knows what we're heading towards. So here's my base, here's their base. I can click on one of these and choose what I want to spawn. We'll do a warrior here. My gold will slowly increase, and it'll increase when I kill units. And here's my XP. It's super high right now because I did the debug option. And he'll spawn buildings as well, and he has the same amount of slots. And they advance and they get harder and stuff like that. And with these, and then I have this warrior here. He's coming across. The game's a lot farther in development, as you were able to see from the Discord, than what's shown here.
Yeah, I love me fighting.
And they're gonna fight. I have it kind of slow right now. I was still trying to work out what type of speed and all the balance and stuff like that. Since I want every upgrade to have 100 upgrades.
Right.
If you had 100 upgrades in the speed, you know, you guys gonna go really fast. So kind of exploration like that. So it looks like I'm keeping his belief. He spawned this, so I need to put something down in that lane, but I don't have enough gold yet. But I'm about to beat him, and then I'll go to this guy. We'll clear the board, and then I'll face off against a tougher opponent who will start with these two, and then he'll spawn a building right here, and then I'll have it in 5 stages per level, so like average playtime isn't super extreme, and if you beat this level, you can continue on to another level. Trying to integrate lots of phone game gimmicks into it because obviously it's going to be a free game with ads, but it's not going to be forced ads. I hate forced
Absolutely
ads.
not.
Yeah, like
You saw that
you
one.
watch them get coins or
Okay.
something or XP.
You saw that
Yeah.
one short Thor posted about mobile ads, right?
Maybe I think I know who you might be referring to. I haven't watched him in particular, but I think I've seen the clip.
Right. He's talking about how he wants to see ads where like a little fairy flies across the screen, you tap on them, and
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
I've seen that exact clip. Yeah, I think We Are Warriors did a really good reference to that. So like after the battle, it can be like, hey, do you want to double your XP that you get from this battle? Just watch this 15-second ad or 30-second ad.
Yeah.
They're very higher rewarding than the even more annoying ads anyway. I'm sure that's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. I'm pretty sure they already have.
I haven't been to a casino in about 2-3 years.
I went once with my mother when I was 18, won $10. I'm not sure.
Hey,
I usually go just for the free
you're
events.
great.
If you subscribe to like River Spirit and stuff and Hard Rock, they sometimes don't send out stuff and they just want people to show up.
They'll get free tickets.
And go for the free show, get the free soda, and leave.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go ahead.
The heck is that?
But
Oh.
Hi. Send you a connection invite on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
but you can see here that I have they are running off of the unit. So speeding up. Initially,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna wiggle a little bit faster than normal. Here's the new
That'd be a good
rails.
animation to see. Just this.
Something simple and goofy, I think.
Yeah.
It's not through any navigation at all. It's all built. So I have it four lanes.
Okay.
And
So
in the editor, I press a button, and it will get through these paths and generate them using left system, and then I'll get the next one and just have to see if it flames or anything like that.
so you made your own pathfinding system.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
I was just about to ask about A Star.
What is A Star?
A-Star is kind of like a 2D system.
Oh.
So like it will get the distance between these two and kind of try to find a path towards that, and it kind of goes through these blocks before it finds it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a star, like that. Can I explain that very well?
So
No.
so I think if I remember right, it takes every adjacent node that it can go to picks the node that's closest to the destination, and then runs the same process from that node until it reaches the destination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it will see that this is closest, so let's get that, and then get that, and then it'll start spreading out a little bit, and it'll find another route.
You have control over how many steps ahead it looks, so like, it's pretty efficient. That seems like the point.
Yeah.
But is it robust enough to actually get there the smartest way, or is it going to result in a very dumb-looking AI?
Nope. Nope. It says the smart way. It figures it out beforehand.
Oh,
Before
gotcha,
it even
gotcha.
moves.
Right.
It
Takes the whole
activates.
time.
Usually it activates things.
Right.
So you don't see that as a game player, but you can see it in visual.
Yeah.
I can pull up
I don't know. If I remember right, A Star is more of a brute force algorithm. Actually, it just looks at the closest node, and then moves the node down the path. It's fast,
Mm-hmm.
but for something more comprehensive, that to get a shorter, more efficient path, then I think you would have to be looking at something like Dijkstra's algorithm.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super simple. It'll do that. And it does that in the editor because I didn't put that done in gameplay. So whenever I spawn, it'll get which spawn point it's supposed to be at, and it'll just get the list of points, and it'll continue down the path until it reaches the next node. And then once it's within like 2 Unity units or whatever, it'll trigger the next node and just continue like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome, awesome.
And it makes the game look pretty cool. So whenever it targets an enemy, they'll divert from the path, they'll go and fight it or whatever, and they'll come back to the path and continue that way and stuff like that. So you can have dark paths. So like let's say the enemy's right here, it'll go and attack it for a little bit, and then it'll come back and it'll go down this side.
So, and did you mention about eventually adding it to where you'll have some things where they'll spawn up closer to the thing after you've like got enough currency, and then
Yeah,
that was my question was more how that pathway's going to work there. Is it just going to like
yes.
live update?
Exactly what you're saying. I did have to work at that. So, whenever the enemy unit spawns, of course it's not going to spawn at 0. So it goes through the list of the lane that it's in, and it checks to see if there's a certain distance to it, which is usually like 5, which is a little bit extreme, but this is basically spawn where you'll go to the left or right until you're going to be able to find this unit. And then it'll start from there, and it just increases and increases. And so I spent like a day working on that, and I was really happy with that. And then I spent some time on the currency as well. So now they should be fun. It's kind of hard to see, but it actually grows and shrinks on a very easy thing, actually. Using the alert system, telling me distance and time and stuff like that. And hopefully it is.
You say that a unit will divert from the path if it detects an enemy.
Mhm.
So,
So what I'm thinking of though is possibly a scenario where there's a node here that it's moving towards, but then it detects an enemy all the way over here, and there's a node here. Goes, fights the enemy, and then remembers, hey, I was going to this node, and goes all the way back. Did you consider that?
Yeah, that's what it does. Yeah, it remembers the node. It doesn't ever forget it. So the script switches from I'm targeting a node to I'm targeting an enemy. Explains it. And then once the enemy is dead and there's no more enemies nearby, it'll go back to targeting the node, and it has a list of nodes that it's supposed to target.
Yeah, but what I was voicing was that the next node on the path it would be taking would be near the enemy, and
Yeah,
then
so you want it to skip nodes and stuff like that.
yeah, so probably check to see where the closest node is rather than going back to. I get, you know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
get 100% what you're saying.
Would the enemy be a node and then you would just have a nodes in line? Or my question is, can you not have just like a node in every corner and then a node beyond the enemy, and it just live update like that? Maybe?
Well, I wanted the guy who I want eventually making these maps to
Right.
be very easy for him to make.
Gotcha.
I don't want to pay him millions of dollars to code or nothing like that. So it's all literally based off the comment system. That's all he has to do is input the comments.
yeah.
And then he presses generate, and then it gets the path for him.
So yeah, the guy that you're making this for, that you're making the ecosystem, is that what you're saying?
So I'm
Of
the
this game.
programmer, and he's kind of like the game designer. So I wanted him making the levels,
The levels?
the units, and stuff like that. But I already had everything coded in. So the units are scriptable objects. All he has to do is change values, and then boom, he's got a new unit again.
Yeah. And it seems to me that he could probably make some really nice handcrafted levels, but what about a procedural generation system for your tile system?
Yeah, I could see that, but since it's a mobile game and we need to balance and stuff like that, I was like, it might have a little bit more flaws if it's tile crafted.
Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
we kind of wanted to release an arranged version and see if people like it, and if they do, we can just add more levels even easily.
There you go. And then 2 could have a seed generation sharing system, and then more handcrafted levels.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
That'd be pretty easy to add since it's based off of the tile map system anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll just be like, hey, this tile is a tile. They get the tile
Make
and
more
build
tiles.
lighting and stuff like that. I can load up a version, but it's not stable per se. But it will take you like 10 minutes of Unity sometimes. Sometimes it takes a while to load.
That's what I really like about the Steam Deck is it takes like a minute to launch Unity.
Yeah.
Just 1 minute. Everyone else is like, it takes 2 or 3 minutes to launch. I'm like, yeah. Okay, get good.
You're good.
Six? Are you on 6?
No.
Yeah, I just launched a preview and I'm like, fuck it, if I'm downloading anything, well, I'll get run well on this $100 PC anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm using right now. That's what we use in class. We decided to keep long-term support. Yeah, isn't the new one coming out 2023 about to release, or is 2023 Unity 6?
2024 is Unity 6, I think.
Okay, so 2023 LTS is about to drop, right? Because I think it drops around this
It's
time.
2024, right?
Yeah.
All I know is Ubuntu's new Steam, so they just dropped 04 24. So I don't know what they're getting their numbers off of if it's not that.
Right. Yeah, I think they're about to drop the LTS for 2023. Any cool thing that they're adding in Unity 6? Multiplayer is going to be easier to
the lighting
integrate.
is- the
I don't know
lighting
how
is-
that much easier is, but
The lighting is updated a lot. I can see that.
okay. Still trying to compete with Unreal Engine. Yeah.
Yes, very much. And then I also watched NVIDIA talk about their new lighting system that's better than Lumen and real-time path tracing. So it's a dog and yeah, but I mean, it looks better, a lot better. The lighting. I installed it on my $100 PC just to see what I could do with it, just because shits and giggles really, because it's a $100 PC. So really should just put Godot on. Like you do. My Steam Deck has Unity though, and I just fixed it like 3 hours ago.
Right.
Did you like screen break or like?
I think it ran all the way down, and I didn't have any good power, and I just left it for a couple days,
plug it back in, like live. I thought I had killed the corruption. I corrupted the operating system, so I was like, fuck it, I'll work on that later. I didn't need to.
Self-revive.
Yeah.
My audio.
Nice.
Actually, he gave me that task.
Well, you're two designer.
All I'm saying is that entire thing was 1 week. So
I haven't. Really?
You have to have URP.
And what I said about that 1 week thing, it's true, but also they had it early on so that because you're going to be making menus a lot, so the more menus you made, the easier it became. And eventually, on like 3 weeks later, I was like, oh, that's how on click works.
Nice. That's funny. That's great. I like that. It feels and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Right, he's just trying to go past him.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, still got a few prep hits.
I like the
great.
yes.
I like how it looks like the guys like stabbing each other.
Yeah,
Guys-
right.
They
And
actually
they're like
do.
shield right
Right.
there, and then they're like,
They are hitboxes?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Their collider or the shield's collider?
Huh.
Right, right. That's
So
what I
if
was
you're-
saying. Like
so if you're
maybe
doing
because I know
hitboxes
they're
like that, then potentially you could have a unit that does like wide sweeping attacks.
Yeah.
and
That's lined up.
you see they're doing a little bit of a rotate when they lean back to lunge. Maybe that could be how these little dudes like give up a little bit of armor behind that stab.
Oh.
See now that they're doing this, he's got like access to his back.
You should probably make more unit factories. Get my guy.
You want to see? But I have it. I want to show you
Bruh.
guys.
Are you planning on doing any magic uses?
what's the option at home?
What's that?
What's
Oh,
that last option?
market. So you notice that it'd be before I get 1 gold. If I have a market down, I'll get 2 gold to 1, and it's per the number of markets.
If you want to do the magic and keep it simple for most, you could just have each race have one particular thing that they're good at, or maybe a bonus attack and a super, and each be themed to their race. Like orc would probably be rage, and then rogue, teleport and backstab.
Yeah.
Ah,
just unloading.
Yeah.
That's great. That's neat.
Oh man. But yeah, I don't expect to spend more than 6 months. What's going on with this?
What?
Oh, the sun. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh.
They're recording.
Yeah,
The
sun
sun
is
is still on it.
it's hot.
This is I've been working on Intercepted for like 2 years. And I'm just like, I just need to finish the cutscenes and just sit it out and be done with it and move on.
Yeah,
Same with zombies. I've been working on it for a while. I'm just trying to wrap it up and finish it this summer.
That
I'm not
reminded me. Have you seen that? There's many videos on YouTube of people doing this now, but they take old projector screens from like the 80s, a 60-inch projector screen, box televisions, and they take the screen out of it, and they basically are gigantic magnifying glasses, and they put them on a wooden frame and rotate and burn concrete. It melts concrete. It's amazing. Yeah.
Since you guys saw this game, is there anything you think I should add to it?
That race.
It is pretty early in development.
That race thing, yeah.
The race thing?
And maybe the timed, like the basic attack. They could be a timing with their shield, and maybe just make it a little smaller, and then actually give it a hitbox, and so that I don't know, maybe 40-30% of them are actually available for that spear shot at any given time, and then if they're in the middle of their attack, it's more like 50 or 60, something like that.
Okay, so you have to shield actually.
Right, yeah, and the guys a little time so that maybe if you had more fine control over how, not they moved, but how often they did that, because if it's set to one attack a second, maybe they could get good at timing. Okay, this, and according to when the guy comes out, when to place the units, because they're going to be on their same one time. So if you can always time that appropriately, maybe give them a little readout of, maybe we'll give them a readout of how to do that. Really, just leave that up to skill. That's what I do. Skill check, get good.
I do want to add tiles on the side.
Yes, and that's why I was asking about the live update pathway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they want to add tiles. Some of which still kind of
That Asmon Gold's Shark Tank thing that I mentioned today, the first thing I watched, I think I only watched like one or two of them, was actually a tower defense game with like well, Pokemon mixed with tower defense, and it was a lot less of a rip-off than Palworld. He had his own 8-bit art style, and it was really beautiful, and he's an audio engineer for a while, so that had a good soundtrack as well. An audio engineer and 2D graphic designer, so then he did freaking coding for a year. And it's on open, what's it called? Steam's early access.
Next Fest?
Beam. No, Asmon Gold's thing was something else. Look at it earlier.
I wanted to see my game for Steam next fest, but I guess if it's already in early access, you can. Yeah, it can't be published. Period. I mean, just submit it.
Yeah, I got to just put my game off in the next space.
It was Beam something, I believe.
Pixel Pitch. Oh, wait, no.
That's the name of the thing, yeah. So we'll do the second edition of it and the first one. Yeah, episode 2.
So 2.
Oh, okay. As in Shark Tank, you mean like indie games that are just going up to Asmon Gold?
Yeah, and Ally gave him $20,000 to disperse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Look back. You get to the cowboy hat. This guy. That's what I have with his introductions.
Yeah.
We talked for a while.
Okay.
Time cowboy. That guy.
Wait, just 20 minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Bean Beast.
Bean Beast.
Yeah.
That is full screen, right?
Give it a bit. It's not that good of a laptop.
So who's on the that work on
I think it's just him. Oh, that's Aslan Gold and then some other like. I think this guy runs an actual production company, indie production company called Mad Mushroom. Definitely he is a journalist, I think. It's in the introduction. I was kind of paying attention as always.
That's a really cool way of typing up the names.
What's even better is that like they split it 4 ways this time, $5,000. Each of them get to pass out $5,000, and then Twitch votes for one as well. I'll throw my hat in one of these eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was working on that for a year, and it's already on in early access.
Yeah, I was thinking about like a that'd be cool for me to type this right now.
I'm an indie developer, indie publisher. Yeah, I mean, I just do submit it to Xbox, submit to PlayStation, help
Okay.
with that process, set up the store page, all that.
Okay. What about like funding and stuff and
So that's like exactly what I need to do myself, but then like the advertising as well. Like I've got a little bit of a business sense, and I'm trying to learn more through the coding and the prediction books at the bottom. Anyway, yeah.
There's your marketing.
Yeah.
Write a couple Twitter and Instagram posts.
Seriously.
I've been just doing it like every morning I'll just post they have like these hashtag days, Mobile Monday, Demo Monday, Killer Tuesday. And I post those and get like reach everyone's indie games, try to build up the community.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and a lot of indie devs post stuff on Screenshot Saturday.
Yeah, that's one of the days.
Yes.
And if they're an influencer, influencers, that's what they say they're doing. It's just like interact with those posts,
Yeah.
reshare them, comment.
Yeah, I've had a guy streaming indie Gamiacs. He actually played my game on stream. That's
right, yes.
Games for 15 minutes on stream.
I like Spider Cat Games because he looks at a lot of new stuff as they update, and it's his particular niche. And there's a lot of people like that have their particular niche. Some people like me just pick a few of these people. Like I know all the cool new games.
Right, that's sick. Yeah, I love seeing all the games out there. There's so many.
It's another indie revolution.
Yeah. It's been it's not just indie revolution. I feel like 2024 has been a small creator revolution overall. Because I've been seeing a lot of these smaller YouTube channels popping off over the past couple months.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are dissatisfied with what they're getting out of AAA games nowadays.
Yeah.
Along with AI making it easier and more efficient to do our jobs, like they're moving it to the new AAA studios.
And with the desert cable. Unreal making everything easy. Unity making everything easier and maybe anyway. You can make AAA games if you take like some time with it. I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, my student downloaded Unreal and he's probably working on this probably for like 10 hours maybe for like their class for a couple weeks, and it looks amazing. Like 4K
like
graphics, he's shooting zombies, blood splatter. It looks just crazy what he can make in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, legitimately, Unreal and Unity have made it possible for indie developers to make AAA quality stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen a few trailers like that.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Another thing I heard, if you like trying out new things, being an early adopter is actually really good because you're
the market, like especially when they launch a new thing with a new Play Store, that if there's not many games on it yet, go ahead and put yours on there real quick. Make it shitty, make it fast.
I was thinking about trying to publish for like the meta store because there's not many VR games on there. You make a good quality VR game, you probably make a decent amount of money.
Yeah. But like, also have those things and the ability to like adapt them to the new engines, like low poly to whatever, ready to go. Because Ouyu, remember the OU or OU, the Android TV box from Kickstarter from like 2013?
Oh yeah.
Ouya, yeah, that too. Yeah, I actually bought one of those, and then like the payment went through. I didn't because the payment went through, and then I saw how it fell, and I was like, that was a good save. Dodged a bullet. But there's also this Game Boy Advance watch that's got Kickstarter, and I'm in their Discord and watch them, and it's just little scripts, and they've got their own.
Game Boy is trying to make a comeback.
No, it's an FPGA Game Boy Advance SP like watch with an e-reader on the back, and then you open it up, it's got a little pad there, so you can take it off and use it if you want. And with the RG Nano and the Game Boy Keep, I had one of those. And trust me, if you just use it to play Pokemon, having Pokemon, real Pokemon in the 90s, like Game Boy Advance Pokemon on your wrist at all times is delicious. With real fucking buttons, it's great. It's great. The RG Nano is not worth it. I wouldn't pass on it either. The Funkey S was a little better because it was a little bigger with the buttons, but I just put that RG Nano in my lighter pocket. It was great too. Yeah.
Yes. If you create a for like a very specific system like that,
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can like just WarioWare that shit, man. Just have a small mini game idea, and I think that's exactly what they're looking for with this one in particular. It's just blast. Because you remember that the crank one from recent years? There's guess y'all are not hardware enthusiasts, but they have this little FPGA handheld with a fucking crank in it, and you just crank it to use it, and then put the little crank away. And not only that, but the crank is like a novelty input, so you write games. Yes, yeah, and so like that Gear Watch, is that a Gear Watch? I love those things because I'm sure you can do that with it too. Oh, that's a Moto 360. Here, have a watch. Yeah. I got a Samsung Gear, like one of the originals for $30 recently. Just that tactile feels so satisfying. Love it. The handheld though, the crank one, I'm pretty much pricey for these people will buy it.
You're talking about us Apple people?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm talking more about to you, but yeah.
I was an Apple girly for like, what was it? The duration I was friends with the late. I don't even remember how to say her name, but yeah, I want to go back to Samsung.
And they made a whole arcade machine, and like for like a emulator type thing, so they put any game in there.
Oh, yeah.
And they also made a pinball machine as well.
Now the pinball machine, that sounds fun.
Right, yeah, it's
like
crazy.
those arcade machines, you could put our pie as a brain in it or whatever. It's like they got A6 out the ass now. But
Right.
yeah,
It's really neat.
the real cheap buttons now too. Like I wanted to know the price difference between like Temu and Granger. Sometimes I need them.
Right.
But Temu, I could wait 2 weeks if I really don't need it.
Oh yeah, that's the Skyrim ChatGPT mod we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
Does it use the API still?
Does it? I'll have to look into that.
Probably, because if not, you have to configure it to your own system.
Can be run for completely free if your hardware is able to support local language models.
Nice. Yes.
If you would prefer to outsource this process externally, you can only still use OpenAI or OpenRouter.
OpenAI, do you think the new Xbox will expect?
Oh yeah.
OpenAI prepaid credits.
Maybe not
Everyone
UWP, but
$7 a month for heavy usage on OpenAI and 100 requests a day for free on OpenRouter.
Alright.
Future has it.
The future has indeed arrived.
I actually haven't seen him update all of this since he first did it.
What do you mean full screen's unavailable? Hold on.
Now they have 4.0. Oh my god. Dude.
Yeah, I've been using 4.0 too. Been playing
You like
around with
upload
it, trying
images and
to
stuff?
have it
Yeah.
run
It's not the
RPG.
best at images like that. Not the best RPGs either, but you gotta know where it works and where it doesn't, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah.
There was this other AI game. They call themselves a dungeon master's like best friend because it makes it really easy to create.
Oh, the AI stuff? Yeah, I've seen so many ads about that recently.
Yeah, me too. Because it also knows it can be marketed to me as a helpful way to create characters for my games.
Bing.
I struggled for a long time after their passing, being lost in the lonely world. It wasn't until I was given the opportunity to serve as a house fellow that I found purpose and a sense of duty.
That's actually good.
That purple mountain flower you picked up is very useful in alchemy. When you are ready.
so very first thing kind of revived those other ones that yeah.
It's probably just like kind of training data they have.
Yeah, I'd have to run the voice actor on these two fucking lines.
I don't even need to have like 3,400 lines that they voice actor for.
You don't need to say anything particular. Just need to say it in the voice. Like have a full on conversation or whatever it is.
If you really want, like, if you like something like that, just create that character and act like it for a couple of days.
I mean, actors to actually get into the role, they start acting like that person.
And it gives them a really good excuse to be an asshole for a couple of weeks, but yeah.
Who was that guy that played Jeffrey Dahmer
Ooh.
in the Netflix series?
You're talking about the dude that played in High School Musical?
No, he was in
Oh,
American Horror Story.
Jesus.
The one guy was a
different
different
guy.
I don't know. We don't know him.
The main guy. You're talking about the main blonde guy from American Horror Story?
Mhm.
Okay. I thought that was a different guy. Didn't he also play in a Dahmer Netflix flick a couple years ago?
The High School Story guy?
High School Musical guy.
I don't know.
The really hot guy from, like, also he played in the new season of Stranger Things. Was lifeguard.
Maybe. You're talking about no, that's not his name. But anyway, he had to go to counseling because he was like really bad mentally after that.
Right, yeah.
I'm sure we all heard about like what Jack Nicholson said to Heath Ledger and like how much of a role it will take on you if you let it.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Real life.
Real dark, real quick.
Sorry.
Evan Peters, right?
Yes, that's fine.
Who's the dude that played in The Boys? And that dude was like also the dude. Jesus, so many people. The same. I'm thinking about the dude, the like middle kid from Shameless, or Shameless.
The middle kid from Shameless?
Yeah,
You're talking about Ian?
Let's see.
I think so. I've seen it a couple times. I only know it from the redhead that plays the Joker in Gotham.
Well, let's see. There's the
Not
cast.
the
Oh.
Joker, but you know.
There's the cast of the boys for you to look through.
Jack Wade.
Jack White.
Huh. Have you seen his Soldier Boy? It's good. Have you seen The Boys?
I haven't.
We've seen The Boys.
It's good.
Yes, there are some messy scenes, but it's very
Why?
real.
Are you talking about the whale scene? What? No, it was fine.
I mean, are you talking about when he goes up?
There's a lot.
Yeah, that's the whole show. Invincible was good too.
Yeah, both of these were.
Yeah, it felt like which was cool. You know, I like fantasy too. Fantasy superhero stuff. But I like that they are coming out with more things that differentiate it, so you do get that real feel. Like Superman had back in the day, you know what I mean?
Have you guys seen
No.
I have.
It's terrible, but it exists.
I mean, with Mario Maker, it's only about right?
Yeah. What was it called again?
I don't remember. I just saw it last season.
I saw this article that was going over this dude's project where he basically modeled in Super Mario Maker into Super Mario 64. So you can make 3D for like the low poly levels. Just like 3D Little Big Planet, you know. Who remembers Little Big Planet? That was the shit.
Yeah, player creation once again is really good. I just have to get first for you.
I had Hypersonic Extreme back on the PS2, and it was a Wipeout clone with a built-in level editor. I had a lot of fun. What I really like to do is like make the map have this giant ramp off into nothingness, and then all the way out there, the rest of the track that you would eventually get back to. And then if you didn't know about that, then you're fucked around for a while. Yeah, Forge. Yeah. Far Cry 2, 3, 5.
I've
And
been
they
playing
still
a
have those
lot of.
tools. Yeah. If you've got autism, ADHD, or a little Adderall, you've got it. The trifecta.
Man, I got started making Minecraft adventure maps.
Did anyone ever use Xbox's I've shown it to you before.
They're like Game Maker?
They had a game that where the entire game was you make games. Not
Shark
for-
Tank? No. Oh. Hmm.
But that's where I ended up. Spark? Spark. Yeah, I think it's Spark. Yeah, Spark. Spark was amazing.
Like it.
Nemesis, the game?
A board game
Nemesis
type?
the book. Yeah, hold on. I think I remember seeing something like that at a tabletop store the other day, and it thought it looked neat.
Tabletop game.
I think I heard that they were making an Alien.
There,
It looked like Alien.
well, there is an official Alien role-playing game. I went and got the book for it from Wizards Asylum a couple months ago.
I got e-books for The Witcher and Cyberpunk comics, and I think some Fallout will say.
Nice.
And Cyberpunk. I was gonna look those up. And Doom, so you know, hit me up.
Yeah, you play lots of board games?
I am looking for people. I've been trying to say to my friends, hey, you seem like a nerd into this, you seem like a nerd into this, we need to get something together.
Have you looked it up on YouTube? There's like 3 or 4.
I'm going to the one tomorrow. Or
You
sorry,
know,
Thursday.
TU Tabletop Club should be doing their meeting right about now. They said on Discord a couple hours ago they started at 7:30.
Is that open to public?
Is it? I don't know.
Because I'm not TU. I'm just a freelancer now. There's the one is like I think it's on 35th and Yale, and probably a cheaper Uber to where I'm at anyway.
We used to go to a board game meeting. It's in BA, but they do board games a lot. It's like every 2 weeks or something.
It's kind of long.
I-
I'm talking about the one
With Joel and stuff.
Yeah, that's the broken one. But that's like once a month.
Oh.
There's one of those on every other Saturday.
There's also like Shuffles the bar that I could go and hang
Yeah,
out
Shuffles
anytime.
has started doing stuff too. But yeah, we always be down to play.
Well, I'm trying to get a Cyberpunk Red team going.
Oh, what?
Cyberpunk Red?
Cyberpunk Red?
Never heard of that one, but
Well, it's the new. It's 2020 was written in like 19. So in 1980, the end really, he wrote one for 2015, and then in 1990 he wrote one for the 2020 rule set, and that was the one that really popped off for a while. And then Cyberpunk 2077 came out, and so he was like, we're gonna do. He likes to work in decades, so we're just gonna put 2045, call it Cyberpunk Red, where a whole bunch of fallout from the last war has turned acid rain into kind of blood red rain, which starts up in your rads. So yeah, it's still getting repopulated with weapons. The weapons are kind of rare. You've got cybernet hacking, just like they did a really good way of making it like live action and like real time, but they're eventually like 2.0 was really good, and I liked the offering in 1.0 to be honest. But when 2.0 came out in Liberty, I was on that for a month solid, and it was affecting my schoolwork.
I think I'm about to get out of here.
Yeah. We have about 5 minutes left anyway.
You know, we were talking about where we got our start in game development. There's something else I want to mention. I feel like one of the more significant things I did was, did any of you guys ever play SCP Containment Breach?
Yes.
Did any of you ever play a Half-Life mod for SCP Containment Breach?
No.
I made that mod.
oh really?
Yeah, I did. I made it for about a year and a half, I think, before I dropped it to move on to other projects, and then other community members picked it up and continued from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, I got started recruiting with the RuneScape private server when I was like 10 or 12. Then we played RuneScape. And it was
Oh, we played
my
a little
childhood.
bit.
Yeah,
We played it a lot. And then we got so into it, started playing private servers. Like, what if we made our own? We made our own. It was crazy. It was pretty cool.
Last time I tried hardware was really back in. I mean, software was really back in like 12, 13 when I was starting school, high school. And then I tried like patch coding stuff after that, and just YouTube videos weren't enough. But now we have AI. It's easier to learn yourself now.
Yeah, they had to write code comments for you. What is this doing?